This is Dr. Ron's Words of Wisdom, words on leadership, goal setting, productivity, and a whole lot more. I trust that today you will consider this like your vitamin or mineral, your supplement for your mind and heart. And wherever you receive podcasts, would you please subscribe to Dr. Ron's Words of Wisdom, leave a rating and a brief written review. And hey, I'd love for you to get on my calendar. I'm looking as I begin the new year to find 4 or 5 folks who would be willing to be my beta testers, allowing me to coach you for 3 months at a minimal, almost free. I said almost free. If you're in any way interested, like to explore the possibilities, would you go to drronblake.com/call and I will give you a call. Today I want to talk a little bit about motivation. It's really one of my favorite subjects. It is something that I think is important as a life skill. It certainly is important for leaders. And I know what many of you are thinking because I have said it and I have heard it most of my life. And that is you really can't motivate others. You can only motivate yourself. And so whether you want to say you need to be inspirational or encouraging, they all kind of come out of that same place. Nothing much gets done until someone somehow gets motivated. I read the other day that someone said nothing much happens until someone begins to sell something to someone. And since I live in a country that the vast majority of all business transactions are conducted by consumers, I understand that. But until you really get motivated, nothing much is going to happen. You have to perceive there's a problem. You have to begin to understand, I need to make some real changes in my life. I'm going to have to go about doing things somewhat differently if I want other results. As a matter of fact, if you yourself do not get motivated, it's even difficult to get out of bed in the morning if you're not motivated. Now, understand right at the very beginning, I am in no way intimating that motivation is the be-all, cure-all for everything. I get that. You still have to have competency. You still have to show up. You still have to put your nose to the grindstone. You still have to produce. You still have to execute. But motivation, I think, is still a foundation for living a productive and successful life. Regardless of how young or old my voice sounds, I was growing up. My childhood was spent in the 1960s. I remember my grandmother encouraging our family members, and it was the first book I ever heard her reference that wasn't a religious book or the Bible. And she encouraged me to read Dale Carnegie's How to Win Friends and Influence People. As I said, it's the first time I remember her going outside of her Christian background. And so really, I was maybe 11, 12 years old or a little younger when I read Dale Carnegie's book, How to Win Friends and Influence People, that I believe is still one of the best books. I know that it's been updated, and if you're looking for a new book recommendation and you have never read that, I would strongly encourage you to take time in the new year to read that. It's been updated. It was written a long time ago, and so some of the personal pronouns need to be changed, and some of the illustrations, and even famous people that he references. Most people today would be clueless who he's even talking about. But if you can work your way past all of that, there are just wonderful principles for getting along in life. And of course, all of you know that Dale Carnegie would become the godfather, the grandfather, the founder, whatever, of self-help and positive thinking. And I've always understood, when I began in the ministry in 1981, 38 years ago, I always understood that one of my chief responsibilities as the leader was to be, for my organization, the chief motivational officer or the chief motivational leader. People are discouraged. People are looking to someone to offer them hope, encouragement, and the possibility of a brighter future than their pessimistic present. Now, When I said that I felt that one of my chief responsibilities as a leader was to be the chief motivational leader for my organization, some have called it a cheerleader. Others, as I've said, a motivating officer. It really doesn't matter what you want to call it, but I still believe that it is a very important aspect of leading, because the default for most people is lethargy. And the bias for some is not only standing still, the bias for some is they are moving in reverse. They are going in the wrong direction. I know that myself, when I would be in a moment of discouragement with my responsibilities, especially 10, 20, 30, 40 years ago, I would go to a meeting and someone there was positive. The speaker offered hope and grace and peace and positivity, and that we could move forward. And it was an amazing, I still had the same problems. I was still facing the same difficulties. Nothing about my situation or circumstance had changed one bit. But I would leave the meeting, I would leave the conference much better than I came in. And so what really changed? As I mentioned, nothing changed except one thing. I changed. If you can just change your attitude, change your negativity, you would be absolutely stunned all of the things that you would be able to accomplish. We cannot allow people around us to just be going backward or standing still. It is unacceptable and will destroy any organization that becomes infected with it. So motivation has as much to do with leadership as many subjects do. No one in school, let me just tell you how it goes. No one in school, be it elementary, junior high it was in those days, high school, college, seminary, graduate school, no one really had me pegged as I was going to be the one who would greatly succeed, who would come back to any of their alma maters and give speeches on what success looks like. There were many, 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 and I'm not faulting anyone. If I'd have been in their position, I'd have felt the same way about me. There were many stronger students. There were many folks, some folks who had stronger advantages. They came from really homes with strong leadership and great stability. They just had a lot going for them. But if you ever go into Starbucks, you'll notice a phenomenon, or any coffee shop. The straight A students are usually serving the coffee, and the average or the B students are sitting out there at tables planning their life. It doesn't matter if you came into the world with a silver spoon in your mouth. As a matter of fact, I'm going to say it's more to your advantage if that didn't happen to you. If you've had to scrape and scrap and work to get to the position you're in, those seem to be the people who made the difference. When I was a young man, I wasn't tall, dark, and handsome. I wasn't the one that everyone came to for advice. I didn't possess a good singing voice. I just kept doing what I thought I could do. I wanted to keep moving ahead. And I have tried to grow and to develop myself as a person. And now I am invited to speak at places and all of this. And so surely you have to give God all of the credit. But the fact of the matter is, if you just get up every day with a nearly positive attitude, keep working forward, keep seeking to be better, you will be a difference maker. You will change the destiny of your family. You'll change the destiny and the trajectory of your organization just by how you do things. Are you busy taking notes when you're listening to others? Do you listen to podcasts? Do you read things to make improvement? Do you write down a quote so that you can capture it? Inspirational leadership just seems to be an area where I have led naturally, not even when I didn't know what I was doing, which may be always, but wasn't aware that it just seemed to be in my wheelhouse. But I can't live on my natural ability and instincts 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And that one missing ingredient, because I've always believed the best is yet to come, and God can do anything, and He's going to help us do anything. And so you can be nice looking, you can be talented, you can have an A1 team, a beautiful family, you can have all the things going for you, but don't miss the ingredient, the needed ingredient of motivation. Motivation will always help you to explain, here's why we're doing this. If you're a leader, you need to motivate the people around you to say, this is why we do what we're doing. It has to be more than a paycheck. Now, I realize that in my culture, most people think it is the paycheck that ultimately motivates people. It really doesn't motivate people. If the only goal you possess is to be successful, that's not even going to be enough. Everyone is looking to be a part of something bigger than themselves. And there's nothing in this world that people desire more than, can I come along and be with you? And together we can make a difference for God, a difference for our families, a difference for our future. Motivation will help you to be a visionary and then to put strategy with that vision. You know, nothing will happen until you decide to do something. The way to get started today, my friend, is to quit talking about it and start doing it. There is no substitute for getting yourself motivated. If it doesn't come naturally for you, there are so many podcasts, TED Talks, books where you can get the help that you need. People are looking to you, my leadership friend, to be the one who tells them it's going to be okay. It's going to work out okay. We can make it. You can't motivate or encourage others unless you keep motivated yourself. Make sure you read good literature. If you're a person of faith, prayer and Bible reading is so essential. Be true to your core. Don't worry about what you don't have and how others came with better families, better circumstances. From now on, you have to quit blaming others and start taking responsibility for yourself. You have been listening to Dr. Ron's Words of Wisdom, words on leadership, goal setting, productivity, and a whole lot more. I trust that you'll consider this as your vitamin or supplement for your mind and heart today. And wherever you receive podcasts, would you please subscribe to Dr. Ron's Words of Wisdom and leave a rating and a brief written review. Hey, I'd love to talk with you about the possibility of coming alongside and helping to coach you to the next level. I'm looking for the next level leaders. Just go to drronblake.com/call. You'll get on my calendar and I will give you a call. And now, as I always say, and I don't say it just to have something to say, I truly believe it, leader, you are doing better than you think you are. You really are. And until next time, this is Dr. Ron saying, have a great and blessed day.